You've discovered or co-discovered 22 comets to date.
Yeah.
Perhaps you're best known for the discovery of Comet Shoemaker Levy 9. So, which famously slammed into Jupiter of course, in 1994. Would you class that discovery as the highlight of your career?
I think that there are other discoveries and other contributions that I've made that beat it. But a little bit like Clyde Tombaugh, no matter what he did in the rest of his life, he discovered Pluto, and that's what he's known for. And I think I could jump over the moon, and they would still say he helped to discover Comet Shoemaker Levy 9. It is one of the things, and I think it is symbolic of what my whole life is all about, to enjoy the night sky, to learn from it, and to let it be the teacher of me.
When you first discovered Shoemaker Levy 9, did you have any idea of the trajectory and of the unprecedented media attention that it was going to entice?
We knew it was going to be super special. We knew it was a real unicorn in the astronomical zoo. And I remember the day after calling my friend, an editor at Sky and Telescope magazine, and all I said was, "It's David, we're at Palomar, call me." And about 10 minutes later, he called back and he said, "What?" And I told him what, and he was taking notes. And I said, "I'd like to write a column about it." He said, "No, this is a major article you're going to write." And I knew it was big. And you know how I knew it was big? I said, "How?" He said, "Because I got this message, 'Hi, it's David, I'm at Palomar, call me.' And you wouldn't have done that unless it was something really big." And so I think it was listening to him with his feeling and with his emotion as he said that made me feel that we had stumbled onto something really pretty important.
Do you think that the discovery of Shoemaker Levy 9 is responsible for the attracting of more people into the field of astronomy?
Well, I think there are a number of things that from the sky itself or from the space program that have done that. In my generation, it was the Project Apollo. Sitting there and watching that 35-story building take off from the launch pad, we knew it's going to the moon. That was greatly inspired a generation. In the 1980s, it was Carl Sagan and his television program Cosmos. In the 1990s, I like to think that it might have been a comet that smashed into Jupiter, showing the world for the first time that, yes, Virginia, comets do hit planets with great effect. And now we're waiting for something else. And it may be a major event like that, or it could be something as small as a meteor in the sky to inspire people. We have to do that one event at a time, one person at a time.
After 22 comets, are you still hungry to discover more?
You bet. I'm not done yet. In fact, after I found my most recent one, I remember going back to bed and I was pillow talking with my wife. And I'm saying, "You know, Wendy, it's been 12 years since I found a comet, and I'm thinking maybe I should stop." And Wendy said, "Are you enjoying it?" And I said, "Yeah." "Are you enjoying it as much as you did when you started?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Then now's not the time to stop."
Would you class comet hunting as a sport?
Yes, it is. But if it is a sport, sir, it is the world's slowest sport, where we don't figure out the course in a single match that lasts a couple of hours. We figure it out over the course of a lifetime. Charles Messier from France discovered 12 comets during his lifetime, and that's his score. And so what we try to do is we try to get as many comets as we can and maybe even surpass his total.
Do you still think it's even possible to be able to discover comets, in your back garden with a scope, or have all the large arrays now got pretty much the sky mapped and covered?
I think that's a very profound question. I think that the days when I began, it was still very possible. I began at the tail end of the golden age of amateur astronomers finding comets. But now, with the technology that's available to the professional community, they have the entire sky covered every week. And the odds of someone like me finding a comet again with my methods are almost negligible. I was so lucky to find one a couple of years ago and kind of sneak one out over the professionals. But I'm still doing it and I still enjoy it, but the odds of finding one have gone way, way down.
Do you think the analysis of comets over recent years have gave us greater understanding into our origins, or how as a species, where we came from, our place in the universe?
I think every time a new comet is discovered and every time we observe a comet, we learn more about the field. And we learn more about the idea, comet history, about the types of tails that a comet might have, about its orbital history, about how many billions of years it's been orbiting through the solar system, and just how primitive an object a comet really is. But certainly in the public eye, the main thing is, will it hit us? Or will it hit a planet? And with Shoemaker-Levy 9, it did, and that was the thing that really caught their attention.
What one of the big questions in astronomy would you like to see answered in your lifetime?
I think, of course, are we alone? Is there life elsewhere in our galaxy? And just how common is that life? We still don't know that. And I think that my suspicion is that life is very rare. It's a very rare gift. And it certainly exists on this world, and it may exist on one or two others, but I don't think it's very common. Otherwise, we would have found out about it by now.
Kepler has recently launched.
Yeah.
Are you expecting great things from that?
Oh, yes. This is a very special mission. And I think the fact that they named it after Kepler is a testament to what was going on in 1605. There was an eclipse of the sun that ran through southern Europe, was total in Spain, and Kepler was trying to refine our understanding of the heavens. You know, Ptolemy's view of the heavens lasted for thousands of years. Then Copernicus came up with another one. But actually, when you tried to do astrological charts with Copernicus' method, you had the same kind of problems. And it wasn't until Kepler said, the problem with Copernicus, guys, is that he has the orbits as perfect circles. They're not. They're ellipses with the sun at one focus. And they're ellipses. And so you don't need all these epicycles and things like that. And Kepler's system was so simple and so elegant that he solved it. And I think that's really the real father of modern astronomy was not Copernicus, but Kepler. And I think the fact that they've named the mission after him is astonishing and a very appropriate thing to do. And good luck, Kepler.
Godspeed. Now you're a real big hero of mine through your books and discoveries and talks. Who inspired you, or what inspired you to get out into the garden?
If we had several hours, I could go into some of them. One of the people who has inspired me immensely is Sir Patrick Moore, your own Patrick Moore, who has done such amazing things in his life. But I think what fascinates me about him isn't what he's accomplished, but the kind of man he is. That his goal is to inspire people to go out under the night sky. And he spent his whole lifetime doing that. I want to do that in the United States and Canada and in the places that I visit. But I can't do it the way he did. He was wonderful. And there were other people who have helped along the way as well. Gene Shoemaker, Clyde Tombaugh. But I think the biggest one was a little faint speck of dust that appeared in the night sky as a meteor during my youth on the night of July the 4th, 1956. And that showed me that the sky wasn't just there, it was happening. It was something that was actually happening for me.
And when can we next expect a Levy discovered comet to come close by?
My most recent comet was discovered on the morning of the 2nd of October, 2006. It will be returning at the end of 2011, where it'll make a fairly close approach to the moon. And if it brightens up the way it did last time, it should become faintly visible to the unaided eye at the end of 2011. But of course, this comet has been coming every 5 years since the beginning of time almost, and how come nobody else has found it? So maybe it won't appear then. We'll have to see.
So I myself am going into a school to give a talk about space next week.
I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you. What advice can you give me, and what do you think I should tell the children to get them excited and hopefully start a passion for astronomy?
I would just share your own enthusiasm with them. Most of these kids will read a book and it'll go in one ear and out the other, but say, no, don't. Let it sink in. Let the majesty of the night sky sink in any way it can. and I think you'll do just fine.
Bless you.